the dependent syndrome. We have these capabilities in the country, and we can do all these things ourselves.
The Managing Director, Uganda Free Zones Authority, Hez Kimomi Alinda, presented some of the achievements of the authority, including creating employment opportunities for Ugandans. Construction works of the Uganda Free Zones Authority facility are now at 40%, thus the need for more funding to be able to complete the remaining 60%, as well as setting up regional zones.
As a country, for a very long time, we've been using tax incentives as the major selling point of our country when it comes to investment. But that creates some challenges, and we think that it is high time that we also invested heavily as a country in infrastructure like this, but on a scale.
About the free zones movement, which is taking place all around the world. Actually, Uganda is sort of lagging behind. But at least we are making these initial steps, which are very impressive. And with time, hopefully, we can also catch up.
The completion rate, they've said 40% is done, which means they have 60% to go. So it's a mathematical calculation, which they will tell us in a very specific terms how much money they will require, and we'll have that consideration.
The Minister of State for Finance General Duties, Henry Ariganyira Musasizi, commended the level of work so far done at the facility.
I'm happy to see the commendable progress that has been made since then. Government will continue to support similar projects to boost our exports and support industrial growth.
The Uganda Free Zones Authority was established by an Act of Parliament in 2014 with the mandate and responsibility for establishment, development, management, marketing, maintenance, supervision and control of free zones. Free zones are geographical areas where raw materials and goods may be landed, handled, manufactured or reconfigured for export without being subjected to import duties.
The State Minister for ICT, Joyce Nabosa Sebugwao, has called upon women entrepreneurs to embrace financial technologies to achieve economic independence. The minister was officiating the 2022 Women in Fintech Hackathon Summit, where over 20 financial software innovations were exhibited.
To capacitate women financial safety and security, iPeople Initiative rolled out Level 1 principle of not leaving anyone behind in the financial ecosystem. Young innovators are attracted to build financial software technologies targeting women enterprises.
You can develop a system today which can do document verification. All these are opportunities in regulation. So as a player and as a woman player, you have a whole list of opportunities that you can tap into.
A lot of opportunities because of the problems that we face, especially in our markets. Women have a chance to say, can we think of solutions to solve the problems that we experience?
The 2022 Women in Fintech Hackathon attracted 20 financial software innovations, where State Minister for ICT, Joyce Nabosa, officiated the culmination of the summit.
We are happy that iPeople and partners are exploring women's formal and informal income generating opportunities that add value to women's lives and livelihoods using digital solutions, and drive stakeholder influence to advance women's financial inclusion and economic empowerment.
Minister Sebugwao urged women in business to embrace financial technologies for economic independence.
The training closes gaps in skills and usage of digital financial services.
Is pull up your sister. Pull up your sister. Do not go alone. there is not much point. You will not go very far.
Financial illiteracy, stringent conditions attached to money access, and poor internet connectivity are posing a challenge to the women technology adoption in the bio-network.
Training for women leadership so that there are other women among them that have made it past the barrier lines that come back to encourage those that are down there.
And how can we look out for such challenges in the market and intentionally go out there to train and eliminate those challenges?
Part of what they have to do is to put up a budget, for example, that supports women.
The private sector foundation has committed to partner with young women financial innovators to develop a digital central payment system to enhance financial inclusion. This will facilitate interoperability principle in the financial cycle.
Whilst at the moment 90% of all our transactions in the country are cash-based. It's not because we don't have digital wallets, it's not because we don't have digital money. The technology is there. It's just that people are still using cash. Why? Because the cost of transacting through digital wallets, moving digital money, is expensive. It's expensive because the players in the digital space are all working either by themselves or they have bilateral relationships. So this national instant and inclusive payment switch is going to bring all the players together in one switch so that the transaction costs are lowered. In fact, they're almost non-existent if we develop that framework, course supervised by Bank of Uganda.
To have a strong chain in the achievement of e-commerce, women are advised to adopt the spirit of partnership and collaboration for easy and effective information transfer of financial technologies. Marion Awori and Abdul Nasir Lubwama, UBC News.
Leaders in refugee hosting districts have expressed worry over what will become of the refugee housing areas if the soon-to-end displacement response to displacement impact project is closed. This was during a joint implementation support mission between Government of Uganda and the World Bank, where a lot of progress was observed.
It was a genuine welcome for Government of Uganda and World Bank officials here at Marala Village, Agocho Parish, in the Kiforo sub-county of Adjumani district. They were here to monitor and witness for themselves what their efforts towards the welfare of refugees and hosting communities have yielded. And this is what they found. Locals working together to make the best of the maize they had harvested.
The community members get income from the maize sales. They save part of this money, then they pay school fees. They also use it for other basic necessities at the household levels.
The harvested maize is here, not only for consumption, but commercial purposes as well. James Okello, the chairman Marala Village, cannot thank government enough.
So it has greatly improved the standard of living of people in my community.
Such venture has been done with environmental conservation in consideration. Tree planting has been one of the other focuses. In the neighboring Zaipi sub-county, Bale community has been organized in planting trees.
There's also customer land ownership.
Richard Opin is a community facilitator in Zaipi sub-county. He is seen here addressing locals as well as government and World Bank officials. He says the project has seen not only the environment conserved, but also people prosper.
The refugees influx has made the tree cover to reduce, so they need to recover it. So that's why they chose the environment component specifically.
All these have been efforts of the development response to displacement impact project. Dr. Deep, the World Bank team, and that of the government of Uganda were here to monitor progress of the projects. And here were some of their observations.
In fact, their income is being enhanced because of the activities they're undertaking. And this is one of the main objective of the project, to enhance household income for the poorest and the active in the community.
What we've seen today, I think, has been, really impressive. What we know is that when the refugees come into an area, it can put a strain on the local health services. It can lead to overcrowding in the schools. It can create environmental issues. It can make it difficult for host communities to continue their livelihood. And so what we've seen today is a project that's trying to meet all those different needs.
Some people, however, are worried of what will become of the gains in case the project closes. Andoya Robert is the settlement commander at Jumani Refugee Desk.
We need another one more of support to see that the level expected is reached, because part of it will not be in the hands of the community to create the sustainability out of this project and then to diversify.
These fears, however, have been allayed.
So the project is due to close in December 2023. And thus far it's been rated, quite highly by the World Bank. So really, what comes next will be part of a discussion with the government of Uganda over the coming weeks and months.
Dr. Deep, a 5-year World Bank-funded multi-regional project, covers 4 countries in the East African region. Here in Uganda, it is implemented under the Office of the Prime Minister, providing development income support to the vulnerable within refugee hosting districts. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Now, in other details of the day, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has met and held discussions with Ambassador Chihobori Arikana, a former African Union ambassador to Washington, U.S. The meeting took place today, Friday, at State Lodge, Nakasero. An American citizen, Ms. Chihobori Arikana, after leaving the African Union, started mobilizing Africans living in diaspora to come back, develop and invest in their mother African countries. The African Diaspora Institute, based in the USA, is organizing a diaspora conference that will bring together over 1,000 Africans living in the diaspora to discuss how best they can contribute to development of the continent. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who was asked to give advice on the upcoming conference, was first of all happy for the meeting and ideas. He, however, said that the diaspora can come back to invest but should never abandon what they have done and invested in the diaspora. We can say the president added that those who want to come back in an organic way can come back, but without abandoning what they have done that side. The president advised that the headquarters of the diaspora should be put in one of the countries they live in outside for visibility. The former AU ambassador to USA and coordinator for the diaspora, Ms. Chihobori Arikana, said that the diaspora need unity and want to come back to invest in their respective countries and the continent at large. She revealed that President Emerson, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, has agreed to host the diaspora conference. Ms. Chihobori said that so far 500 diaspora have confirmed attendance, but still expect more than 1,000 to attend the conference, which will take place on the 14th of April next year, 2023, in Zimbabwe. Chihobori invited President Museveni to deliver a keynote address during the diaspora conference in Zimbabwe. Now getting into our headline stories of the day, where we see the Executive Director, National Identification and Registration Authority, Rosemary Kisembo, calling upon the general public to register and get identification cards. She says over 17 million Ugandans are not yet registered to date, which affects national planning.
Uganda holds a population of over 49 million people, of which 62% are fully registered, while over 17 million people are yet to be registered. This trend of events has negatively affected service delivery of certain parts of the country. The Executive Director, NIRA, Rosemary Kisembo, believes that if all Ugandans got registered, it would ease physical planning for them.
Because it's the essence, it's at the heart of all government service delivery. Government serves people, but how many are they? How old are they? What sort of service do they need? Where do they live? So we are privileged to be the custodian of that register, of understanding who are we, how many are we, where are we.
In commemoration of the International Identification Day, NIRA has decided to extend services closer to citizens. These have been at the Constitutional Square and the Kisenyi Health Center 4.
Here we came with a full NIRA office. If you want to register for your ID, you've never registered, we have the services. If you lost your national ID, we have the services. You want to change something on your ID, we'll check. If you have the requirements, we'll have the services. If you don't have the requirements, we tell you what you need. You want a birth certificate, we have the services. You want a death certificate, someone passed away, we have the services. All the NIRA offices that you would have found at our office, we have them here today.
NIRA says they are laying strategies of extending registration services to hospitals to enhance registration of infants.
But the best case scenario for this nation is to drive birth registration to 100%. We are actually present in government hospitals. We are doing notification there in a couple of them. We are currently constrained by an archaic technology, but hopefully in a year, within the first year of a child's birth, they will be notified, registered, and have a name.
Following the pronouncement of the Minister of Internal Affairs, Kahindo Tafiri, about the new charges of ID replacement, NIRA says service charges remain the same, not until a formal communication is made to them.
If you lost your ID, you pay 50,000, whether you've come here or you're at our office. Whether you're in Chenjojo, you're in Bukomansimbi, you're at Kololo, 50,000. Yes.
Mary Namkose, UBC News.
The Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development has tasked our district land commissions to present annual reports and accountability to the ministry for better service delivery. This was stated at a media briefing by State Minister for Lands at the ministry's headquarters here in Kampala.
Oftentimes conflicted over land ownership, with many running to courts of law for justice and to defend their property. This has raised concerns among Ugandans to query competence of the lands ministry. However, land issues are said to usually start at division and district levels. While addressing the media on land-related matters Friday morning, State Minister for Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Sam Mayanja, lamented that district land commissions have no mandatory rights to process and issue land titles pertaining to wetlands, forest land and vivanja holders, among other fragile areas.
The role of the district land boards, they are not supposed to allocate land which belongs to a person or authority. So if land is occupied by vivanja holders, that land is not available for allocation.
Minister Mayanja, however, demanded for annual accountability and reports from the district land board commissions for better service delivery to Ugandans.
Now my next step is to go to write to the district executive committees to take that action which is provided in the law, discipline these errant board members, dismiss them, and conduct elections for the new ones, so that the land administration in this country can be streamlined.
With the recent evictions of people who had settled in wetlands, Mayanja says titles that had been given out will be cancelled.
Wetlands, forests, whatever it is, all those ecologically protected areas belong to government or local government, and they hold it in trust for the people and for the good of the people of Uganda. They cannot be allocated to any person or authority. Any title which is made out of those is a nullity, and whoever is there must the title which has come out must be cancelled in accordance with Section 91 of the Land Act and be evicted by the forces which.
We should recall that any district land commission that fails to adhere to the set laws regarding wetlands can be punished in the courts of law. Ivan Juko, Tanaba Kenneth, compiled.
Now we'll be taking a very short story and return with more details or activities as far as today is concerned. Do stay with UBC.
Simba. Ni MTN Kabode Super as you pay mpola for this smartphone. Make calls, update your WhatsApp status, watch YouTube, and Google anything under the sun with 2 GB worth of data every month for 7 months. Simply make a small deposit of 99k and pay the balance mpola. You can pay in daily, weekly, or even monthly installments while you enjoy your new phone. So what are you doing today? Visit any MTN shop near you and get the MTN Kabode Super easy.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Mbara and Jinja.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
I remember the lockdown, when the streets were empty and our lives disrupted, when businesses closed and our livelihoods hung in the balance. Hospitals were full. We lost loved ones, jobs, and hope. Our children couldn't study anymore. We cannot let this happen again. We should not go back. Get fully vaccinated against COVID-19 and join the millions of Ugandans who are already vaccinated.
Cooking with electricity is now so affordable with the Fumba tariff set by the Electricity Regulatory Authority. With the Fumba tariff, you can now buy up to 70 units of Yaka at a reduced price of 412 Uganda shillings per unit after consuming your first 80 units of the month. For more information, contact the Electricity Regulatory Authority on 0200 506 000.
Fellow Ugandans, did you know that we are losing wetlands at an alarming rate? Wetlands are the most threatened ecosystems, disappearing 3 times faster than the forests. Dear ones, we risk losing species to extinction and a lot of wetlands at maintaining our environment. Let us all be concerned, conserve, and restore our wetlands. In the name of God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Water and Environment, Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Uganda National Meteorological Authority, in partnership with the Interreligious Council, with support from Government of Uganda, Green Climate Fund, and the United Nations Development Programme.
Welcome back. And now getting into other details that are transpired this day. Vaccine Access Initiative, a company that manufactures vaccines, test kits and drugs, is set to roll out the first phase of its products on the market come October this year. The initiative, a brainchild of Uganda's own Dr. Sandra Kahunde, was started in 2021 with an aim of reducing the gap and monopoly of importation of medical equipment.
The pathogenic economy, so Dr. Cedric is actually walking the talk.
Vaccine Access Initiative is a Ugandan company that deals in manufacture of vaccines, test kits and drugs, started in 2021 by Uganda's own Dr. Sandra Kahunde. Vaccine Access Initiative is in the pipeline of rolling out some of the 12 health products that they manufacture. Among the products in the pipeline of manufacture include the viral load test kits, the HIV test kits, tuberculosis test kits, and vaccines, among others. During the tour of the facility, the minister in charge of investment and privatization, Evelyn Anite, said the government of Uganda has streamlined all procedures that enable domestic innovation and investment.
Actually walking the talk of growing the pathogenic economy, making sure that we have these vaccines manufactured in our country and the test kits in our country.
Dr. Kahunde says upon completion of the facility in a few months' time, the company will be in position to put on market over 5 million test kits. He adds that in the next few months, they will also be able to satisfy the international market with Ugandan-made vaccines and test kits.
A lot of automation to make sure that we meet WHO standard is being considered. So we are not going to do a lot of manual. The production is going to be fully automated because we need to meet WHO standards so that we are able to tap into the region's market.
Upon completion, the facility will put to market 2 million HIV test kits, 1.5 million TB test kits, cancer kits, and COVID-19 test kits. Susan Naong and Andrew Sebira reporting for UBC TV.
Moving on, residents of Nyakabande sub-county want government and other line organizations to compensate them over the negative impacts caused by the presence of refugees. During a meeting with communities in Gakoro village, Nyakabande sub-county residents requested the chairperson Kisoro district Abel Bizimana to help them recover the losses they incurred.
Residents of Nyakabande sub-county want government and other line organizations to compensate them for property illegally destroyed and stolen by refugees. In an area meeting held in Gakaro village, residents noted that since the time refugees started coming to Uganda in April, a lot of their property was stolen and some was destroyed. They are now in fear of being hit by famine after all their food got destroyed.
The issue of refugees, it's a big challenge to us. One, they are flooding every place, everywhere. They are moving from their camp, where they are camping, up to center, up to Mucha. What are they looking for?
The LC5 chairperson, Abel Bizimana, has appealed to government to provide relief to sub-counties that were affected by the refugee influx.
If there was a sack of beans and a sack of like posho in each of the households, when people can complain, me I can say, hey, don't complain. Government has tried, and you can be eating kaunga. If COVID came and people bought kaunga, how come you don't respond to the people who gave everything?
The LC5 woman councillor Florence Nkuranga noted that since 1994, the refugees have been seeking asylum in Nyakabande, where they have been continuously welcomed by the area residents. Their other fear now is contracting airborne and other diseases like cholera and Ebola. They want a government to provide refugees with all necessities in the host camps so that they don't destabilize communities.
They are looking for food as if they are not catered for, we don't know. Why? And during the night, they are also going to check where there is a ripe banana, they must take it.
Nyakabande Transit Camp was established in 1994 following the war that broke out in Rwanda, leaving over 80,000 people dead and others displaced.
Over 200 suspected G-culture rustlers who have been terrorizing some part of Acholi have been arrested in a joint security force of UPDF and police anti-stock theft unit operation in neighboring regions. According to the 3rd Division commander, the suspects will be taken to the areas where they have committed the crimes for trial. We have a detailed story.
For a long time now, regions neighboring Karamoja City like Acholi, Teso, Bugisu and Sebei have been affected by insecurity caused by Karamojong warriors who raided their areas in search of water and pasture. This led to the chasing of all Karamojong who had gone to look for casual jobs and food, among others. But the leaders from other districts of Karamoja defended their people, saying the crimes are being committed by the Jai of Kotido in a joint operation of UPDF and the Anti-Stock Theft Unit to secure the neighboring regions. Over 200 suspected Jai warriors were arrested in connection with insecurity in Agago. Brigadier General Bali Kudembe explains that suspects will be taken where crimes were committed for trial.
Started yesterday, and by today we have over 200 suspects. Over 200 suspects in Kotido. Some of the cows that were last week stolen from Agago, where some 2 soldiers were killed and civilians injured, and the previous week where some civilians were killed. So we have managed to recover cows that were raided from Agago, and the operation is ongoing, and we shall not leave any stone unturned.
He says the deployments are also to continue, especially along porous borders.
Increase the momentum of operation to consolidate the gains so far attained in the last 4 months. You are going to see a lot of military activities to remove some of the isolated cases that we are registering after stabilizing the sub-region.
Bali Kudembe adds that they are challenged by some leaders who are armed and trading ammunition, citing the father of the LOC5 chairperson Paul Komol and his 2 sons who were found with illegal guns.
One Mr. Lopidan Moding, alias Komol, and the gun is with us. And I want to point it out that we have also 2 of his sons in custody after arresting them with guns. The above scenarios are a clear indication that some local leaders are involved in criminality.
According to the Anti-Stock Theft Unit Commandant Commissioner of Police Elias Kasirabo, illicit warrage is one of the contributing factors for insecurity in the sub-region.
Found the warrage worth over $1 billion. And this warrage, you go and find out, it has been causing death. They attribute death sometimes to famine, when actually it is warrage facilitating death. Even when you drink warrage on an empty stomach, what next? you are...
Meanwhile, Mount Moroto Police Commandant Francis Chemusto says there is a reduced crime rate in the region.
Sexual offenses, sexual-related offenses, cases, rape, defilement, those related cases. In the month of July, we registered 12, and it drastically reduced to 0.2 in August. Now, this has really been too much on alcohol. Most of these cases have been driven by alcohol, especially rape, defilement, and what.
The 3rd Division Commander, Brigadier General Bali Kudembe, says following increased simultaneous operation across the region, more guns have been recovered in just a period of 2 months.
Compared to 10 months of Usalama kwa Wote from July 2021 to May 2022, where we recovered only 212 guns. In 10 months. So in a short period of 4 months, we have managed to retrieve 300.
The local council 1 and residents of Kasato village, Mengo Kisenyi 2 parish, Kampala Central, have applauded government for reconstructing Mwanga 2 road into a modern city road. This was during a community sensitization meeting on usage of the road organized by the road contractor Starling in Kasato village.
Local communities and leaders of Kasato village in the parish of Mengo Kisenyi 2 in Kampala Central have expressed gratitude over reconstruction of Mwanga 2 road. The 1.1 kilometer road is constructed by Starling Road contractors with funding from Kampala Capital City Authority. According to residents, the exercise will reduce carnage on the road and foster development in the village.
Government yeriko ndimusanyufu nyoma festo ya fe. This road we are going to use it very neatly.
Tewali accidents ezigenda okubaawo era tugenda kutuyamba nnyo.
Twali tuwuliranga ez'omubyalo bazikola nnyo naye kati olwali tuli basanyufu kubanga ez'omu kibuga zikolebwa.
Netusaba n'abatuuze manhools ezo balime zisulamu kasasiro.
Local authorities, including the chairperson, Kasato Village, Sande Nkoyo, say the reconstruction exercise is timely and urge the road users, especially the business community, to preserve and avoid hazardous activities on the road.
Tukirize NRM ekoze niti twakono na nguduza okwekalakasa nojja nondya ekibira n'okiteeka ku kolas kibeera fengo tufiiriza ekibiina kyaffe. Our mechanics people want to do their work alongside the road because these roads are being damaged by oil.
Kuyiwako kasasiro balimena kuyiwako maziga sabuni naddala abalinaanyeewo buvunaanyizibwabwo ng'omutuuze okulaba nti okuma oluguudo luno ffenna tusobole okulwenyumirizaamu.
All these were during a sensitization meeting between Starling road contractors and communities on immoral behaviors and theft of road construction materials, among others. I'm Navka Farida and Robert Boita.
Season. Forget the oohs and the ahs. Forget every moment that stole the show, because the real show is here on GoTV. It's the new season. It's action-packed and it's going to be non-stop football. With over 1,000 games from more than 7 leagues and cup competitions plus a World Cup. Make sure you get the best seat in the house this new football season. Get a GoCoder with 1 month of GoTV value for only 25,000 Uganda shillings and enjoy non-stop football. GoTV Uganda. Love it. It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *149*10# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *149*10*5#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *149*10# to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
The 28th edition of the Uganda Manufacturers Association's International Trade Fair will be different as Uganda marks the 60th anniversary, the Diamond Jubilee. The trade fair comes after a 2-year break brought about by the global COVID-19 pandemic. In the last 2 years, there have been several innovations across the industry. This is an opportunity to showcase what the market has. Come display, come explore, come see, come experience. Come learn and be part of the Diamond Jubilee Trade Fair at Uganda Manufacturers Association Showgrounds from 3rd to 10th October. Contact our marketing department and experience the Diamond Jubilee Trade Fair. Let's harness economic recovery through local sourcing and deepening value chain integration during the Diamond Jubilee exhibition.
Wabla
Super Bidel Musaba Gardens Mukono, October Mukaga Millennium Gardens Saziwaya, October Munanaji Montelembara, 15 October, 40 Poto Muchisawe, Abidim Bi October, Bale Sports Center, Umtuano Kumo, Yebem Tuale Santo, a meza million mo, Wababa Tuano Kumia, Abana tickets of Kosa M10 Momo, Bajagusa Sunan Comitano, Binamina Romo Center, Hiva Motors, Galaxy FM, Radio 4, Kagwina War,
TN.
What's up for the Balamo?
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now getting into the business updates. Commercial farming in Uganda is still virgin investment ground, as many Ugandans calling themselves farmers still lie under subsistence thresholds. The challenge to many farmers still producing for domestic consumption, lack of access to capital and little land are among the impediments facing full-scale commercial farming in the country. We have a detailed story.
Very few celebrated individuals in highly paying professions like medicine, law and accountancy would wish to leave their air-conditioned offices and work in the scorching sun as farmers. However, this is not the case with Dr. Ian Clark, the proprietor of International Hospital Kampala. Dr. Ian Clark has decided to hang his snow-white overcoat in his doctor's room and indulge in commercial farming.
So I've been doing it now for 7 years and I don't regret it at all, although it takes a lot of my time. I spend half my time down here and it's very capital intensive. So it's a very long-term return. If you're thinking of farming, don't think of getting your money back in 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 years. Think beyond that.
On set at this coffee farm is a spectacular view of what looks like natural shrubs from a distance. But as one draws closer, the real picture is of robusta coffee trees in their tender productive stage. The coffee trees are perfectly planted in lines on rolling hills across valleys, with easy access trails to enable tourists, vocational students and other farmers on study tours drive through from one stage and category of plants to another.
So I want people to experience that and enjoy the rural landscape. I mean, our cities become so dusty and so crowded and we don't have green spaces. Here there are there's miles and miles and miles of trails that you can follow through, go through forests, go through coffee. So, you know, I think this is a great experience for people.
The farming spirit in Dr. Ian Clark is not something that has just happened. His late father was also a farmer, and it's no wonder that he had to acquire over 1,500 acres of land in Chenjejo district, western Uganda, to set up Clark Commercial Agriculture Farm, which is named after him. Amos Wekesa, an international tour operator and tourism business consultant in the Great Lakes region, says Uganda is endowed with a load on her tourism menu to offer to both local and international tourists, but little has been tapped into.
Tourism is one of the most trending topics across the world. If you go to places like Sri Lanka, people go there to just, test teas, live on the farms, participate in the picking of the tea. If you look at ours here, a few things are starting to work.
Other tour operator lauded Dr. Ian Clark for introducing agro-coffee tourism as a new item that has not yet been tapped into, urging Ugandans to embrace local tourism in order to understand the country's natural heritage.
More from business. This Friday, the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Agriculture, Animal Husbandry and Fisheries, Major General David Chomukama, has advised especially smallholder farmers to utilize the available land in this rainy season to grow high-value crops that will help improve their livelihood. General Kasura was closing the 4-day Local Government Leaders Summit on Mindset Change, aimed at ensuring farmers embrace a microscale irrigation.
Smallholder farmers in the country have been advised to grow high-value crops to enable them improve their livelihood and develop
both socially and economically. Closing a 4-day mindset change training for local government representatives from over 40 districts countrywide, the Permanent Secretary Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Major General David Kasura Chomukama, urged farmers, especially at small-scale level, to embrace micro-scale irrigation program.
Commercial agriculture. Now, if you have a small piece of land and you need micro-irrigation, as night follows day, you will have to think of high-value enterprises. Don't irrigate for the purpose of the stomach. You will not make money. And you give, you will not have me as a supporter.
While at National Farmers Leadership Training Center in Kampiringisa, Fiji District, Major General Kasura commended the World Bank for partnering with the government of Uganda to introduce the micro-scale irrigation program, which he said is very vital to the farmers. The engineer in charge, irrigation and drainage in the Ministry of Agriculture, Titus Niwamanya, said the 60 billion shillings micro-scale irrigation program was introduced to farmers 2 years ago, and over 400 smallholder farmers in several districts have already benefited.
We change the mind, the thinking of farmers through these people who interact with them. So we want to change the mind, the thinking of these farmers, so that they know that this country cannot move on now without irrigation.
The Principal National Farmers Leadership Center, Kampiringisa, Okwaja John Bosco, appealed to government to support farmers fight the increasing fake agricultural products on the market, like fertilizers and seedlings, among others.
Of inputs in the market, more so when it comes to the pests, the pesticides, the seeds, the fertilizers, that there is a lot of counterfeit in the market. And then the other one, which we're trying to address, is the issue of the negative mindset among the farmers and some of the Ugandans.
Okwaja, however, commended the micro-scale irrigation program and encouraged farmers to purchase the equipment to be used in irrigating their gardens during the dry spell. I'm Nafka Farida and Salongo Kasvante.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Barra and Jinja.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *149 *10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *149 *10 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *149 *10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
I remember the lockdown, when the streets were empty and our lives disrupted, when businesses closed and our livelihoods hung in the balance. Hospitals were full. We lost loved ones, jobs, and hope. Our children couldn't study anymore. We cannot let this happen again. We should not go back. Get fully vaccinated against COVID-19 and join the millions of Ugandans who are already vaccinated.
The 28th edition of the Uganda Manufacturers Association's International Trade Fair will be different as Uganda marks the 60th anniversary, the Diamond Jubilee. The trade fair comes after a 2-year break brought about by the global COVID-19 pandemic. In the last 2 years, there have been several innovations across the industry. This is an opportunity to showcase what the market has. Come display, come explore, come see, come experience. Come learn and be part of the Diamond Jubilee Trade Fair at Uganda Manufacturers Association Showgrounds from 3rd to 10th October. Contact our marketing department and experience the Diamond Jubilee Trade Fair. Let's harness economic recovery through local sourcing and deepening value chain integration during the Diamond Jubilee exhibition.
News tonight, it is a pleasure to have your company once again. Now on to sports updates. The 5th Annual Special Sevens will be heading to Toro this weekend. The circuit to be played at the Fort Portal Buhinga Stadium over a period of 2 days will have all the 10 teams playing as it is in the other circuits. Now 3 World Rugby World Cup Sevens players, Ivan Otema, Karim Adenetwe and William Nkore, will play for the Heathens, Cobes and Stambik Black Pirates respectively, with only 3 circuits left. Each team is looking to make the most of the remaining games in order to secure the top prize. Currently, the Heathens atop the table with 75 points, followed by Ginger Hippos with 68 points. In 3rd and 4th places are Pirates and Copes with 65 and 52 points respectively. Copes are the current title holders. After the draws, Group A has Copes, Buffaloes, Warriors and invited side, Mbara Titans. In Pool B is Heathens, Toro Lions, Impis, and Rams. Pool C has Ginger Sides, Hippos, Walukuba Barbarian Pirates and Plascon Mongas after Toro Sevens. The next circuit of the Nile Special Sevens will be played next weekend at Bugembe and Ginger, then Chad on the Rugby Club in Kampala. That's all we had time for this particular newscast. Pardon me for the wrong pronunciations in case of anyone goes to the sports updates. My name is Sandra Kahunde and I was joined by Mohamed Mugalo for the sign language interpretation. We have more details and more activities of the day. They'll be coming your way at the top of the hour. That will be 10 p.m. Keep it to UBC. I wish you a great evening. Do stay with us.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift, buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *149*10# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.